What is going on, everybody? With the NFL season upon us, I just wanted to put a brief video out here to just lay out my content schedule for the 2022 NFL season, really going to carry us through the fall and into the draft content where the schedule changes up dramatically come January. But up until this point, this is kind of what you can expect here on this channel. Just wanted to take some time to lay this out. So let's get into it. We're going to go throughout the week, what you can expect. So the first scheduled content of the week is going to be my power rankings. Those will come out bright and early every Tuesday after the week has recapped. So that'll be 8 a.m. Eastern. Pretty straightforward there. Of course, there could be things that come up that I either push it up or push it back, but for the most part, you can expect it there on Tuesday mornings. And then next up is my podcast, the Fully Inflated Football Podcast. Big changes for the podcast this year, so listen up. I am opening up a new YouTube channel for the full weekly video version of this podcast. It will not be uploaded on this channel. At least the full-length podcast will not be on this channel. I'm going to be putting clips from the podcast on this channel right here. So make sure you guys go follow the Fully Inflated Football Podcast YouTube channel. That will be linked at the top of the description down below. I'm going to pin it in the comments. Go ahead, check it out. Make sure you subscribed up. We'll see you there on Wednesday for that show. And then if you are an audio listener of the podcast, that's not going anywhere. The feed won't change. That will all be the same. So if you just listen to the audio version, it'll be on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you've been listening to the podcast, you can get it there. And if you haven't been following the Fully Inflated Football Podcast, make sure you check it out. And then on those Wednesday shows, I'm going to try and get the mailbag in then. That is, of course, the Patreon mailbag for the show, where I answer your questions from my patrons. So if you want to gain access to submit your questions to the show, you can do that via my Patreon. It is patreon.com/thatfranchise, guys. So big announcements with the podcast. Really looking forward to everything we've got going on with the FIF show this year. And then on Thursdays will be more Patreon content, my weekly NFL picks. There will be several scattered throughout the season that I do post live here on YouTube for the public, just as I did for my week 1 picks. But the majority of weeks will be there on my Patreon. The MVP tier you can expect on Thursdays unless something comes up, or if there's just a gauntlet of injuries that I feel it's best to wait for, I might do that Friday or Saturday. But again, for the most part, you can expect that on Thursdays, and I'll be announcing if that's going to change over there on Patreon. Then on Fridays are going to be my hybrid day. So a lot of people asking me about studs and duds. It is coming back this year, but making some changes there. That video takes me about 25 hours a week to make. That is just not sustainable for me at this point in time to do that every single week. And that is my Madden roster update and talking about all of the player ratings changes, which of course has a full real football perspective on it. So that's going to be happening here on this channel every 4 NFL weeks. So the first studs and duds will be after week 4, aiming for that Friday. A big project, so that could make its way into Saturday, depending on how my week goes, but aiming for Fridays on that. And then those 3 weeks that I'm not doing studs and duds, the beauty of this is it doesn't just help my mental health, but it's going to allow me to make more of those topical film room episodes. So for those that enjoyed my Malik Willis film room, or my Drake London film room for the draft, or my Max Crosby film room that I did during last season, I'm hoping I can make 2 or 3 of those every month and really dive into some heavy narratives using the film to back that stuff up. So that's something I'm really excited for the channel. TBD on if I'm going to get that done this Friday. We're still a little backed up from all the deep dive stuff, but Fridays are going to be my hybrid day. So just know you can expect content typically on Friday. It just might change. And then as far as my unscheduled content, I do want to remind you guys, I am still making Madden content, though it is all on my other channel, TFG Plays. And I'm super excited to announce that this Wednesday, I will be debuting, along with the podcast, my expansion team rebuild. It is going to be based off of one of my favorite podcasts, the NFL Stock Exchange. I reached out to Trevor, who came on for the Bucks deep dive, and he said, "Go for it, dude. That sounds sick." So we're kind of branching off of their concept for an expansion team. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have on the Fully Inflated Football podcast on Wednesday. I'm going to be going through my team selection, my process, how we put that team together, and then we're going to put it to the game in Madden. And that rebuild, the Madden side of things, will be all on TFG Plays. So make sure you're heading down to the description down below. Make sure you're following the Fully Inflated Football podcast, whether that's on YouTube or via Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you're following TFG Plays, my gaming channel, where I will be doing that expansion team rebuild. All of that will be starting on Wednesday. Super excited for it. It is going to be a blast. I think it might be the best Madden content I've ever made, going all the way back to 2016 when we started doing Madden content. So yeah, that's where you can follow that. That's when it's happening. No schedule for when those episodes will get uploaded. Those will take a back seat to any NFL content I'm doing. So it's just kind of like whenever I have time to put those out, they will be coming. You also will be following my league games, my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/thatfranchiseguy. Just a reminder to everybody, you can follow my Madden content on my other channel and on my Twitch. I'm also hoping to do about one primetime game live stream every week, just like we did for the Thursday night opener. And those I will just be announcing on Twitter, here on YouTube. So make sure you got your notifications on. Make sure you're following me on Twitter to know if and when those are happening. If it does happen, it will be Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. That's just something I can't commit to on a week-to-week basis, but it is something I'm hoping to do once a week. So you can look out for that. And then lastly, hoping to do one full-length film breakdown on my Patreon every month. That is for the MVP level there, where we're going to do a lot of quarterbacks, maybe some defensive breakdowns, some different stuff. But yeah, aiming for one full-length film breakdown on Patreon. So again, more exclusive content over there on Patreon. That's really everything I've got cooking right now. There will be some miscellaneous stuff scattered in there, of course. But as we lead through the NFL season, this is what you can expect. I wanted to lay this out there for you guys just to answer all your questions. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the morning for my my first scheduled content here, my power rankings. Looking forward to it. Enjoy Monday Night Football, and we'll see you for the next one. Peace out.